Hello, Trinity Church. Today's focus is deepening our faith. What is faith? Faith is placing our full trust in God and who He is. Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance of what we do not see. Hebrews 11:1. We find many examples of faith in the Bible. The story of Abraham and Isaac in Genesis 22 is perhaps the most gut-wrenching story for all parents. It is difficult to comprehend the faith it would take to offer the life of our own child to God. Yet this is exactly what Abraham was prepared to do in obedience to God. When his son Isaac asked him where the lamb for the burnt offering was, Abraham, having nothing but his faith in the character and goodness of God, replied, "God Himself will provide the lamb." After Abraham placed his bound son upon the altar and raised his knife, an angel called out, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy." And Abraham looked up from his son and saw a ram caught in the thicket. God had provided the sacrifice. In Daniel 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego also showed great faith when they refused to bow and worship the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar and faced the fiery furnace. With great faith, they defied the king. "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and He will deliver us from your majesty's hand." Wow, what faith! The furnace was heated 7 times hotter than usual, and the men thrown in. Amazingly, when the king looked in, the 3 men were alive, and a divine 4th man was in the fire with them. The 3 men were ordered out of the fire, and it was commanded that no one could speak a word against God. We see great faith by Moses in Exodus, and David as he faced Goliath in 1 Samuel 17. We find in Joshua 6 that although ridiculed by Jericho's inhabitants and the skepticism of his fellow soldiers, Joshua believed God and told his army to march around the city of Jericho for 7 days. And after marching on the 7th day, the army blew their trumpets and shouted in victory. At this, as God had promised, the mighty walls of Jericho collapsed, and they discovered firsthand the power of faith. We also see real faith throughout the New Testament, as we read about many people that were healed by Jesus. In Matthew 8, we read of Jesus healing a man with leprosy. The man knelt before Jesus and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Right after this, in Matthew 8:8, the centurion replies to Jesus, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed." This man's faith was so strong that he knew that all Jesus needed to do was speak the words and his servant would be healed. Matthew 9:18, "My daughter just died, but come and put your hand on her and she will live." There was also the woman that had been bleeding for 12 years and believed that just touching Jesus' cloak would heal her. As she touched his cloak, Jesus turned to her and said, "Your faith has healed you." Matthew 9:22. These are only a few of the examples of faith found in the Bible. So how do we have this kind of faith? We need to get close to God. We need to cling to Him and cling to His word. Faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. Romans 10:17. We need to pray believing that God will answer our prayers. We need to claim that healing. We need to claim that new job, that answer to our financial struggle. We need to claim the victories in Jesus, knowing that if we ask, it will be given to us, as it says in Matthew 7:7. So how great is your faith? Are you confident and awaiting Him to follow through His word? I know as I prepared for this video, I had to ask myself, am I really trusting God? Am I really believing what he says he'll do? Oh Lord, I believe. Please help me with my unbelief.